Hello, baritones. Thanks for checking out my video. This practice is focused on the secondo passaggio, that is the break. We're going to work our way through the zona di passaggio and over the secondo passaggio. I'm not going to really talk in this video very much. I'll give you different vowel combinations and exercises, and there's a little adjustment to a couple of the exercises later on that we'll get into. But all that aside, thank you for subscribing. I'll say it eventually. And thank you to my Patreon supporters. I truly appreciate the support. Patreon's where you can get all the MP3s for these practices. You can also get the PDFs, so if you want to follow along, you can follow along more easily. Starting with an arpeggio, sounds like this. We. Nice and staccato. Starting here, and let's start again. And you sounds like this. You. And again. And he, H, and it looks like an I, but it's pronounced E. He. And same again. And arpeggio followed by a scale. Starting with we. One more time. We. You're going to start here. And same again. And U. Sounds like this. U, 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 U. And one more time. And he into E sounds like this. He, 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 he. And he into A sounds like this. He, 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 A. And again. And he into ah. He, ah. And one more time. And moving on. A into ah. Start with a reasonable aperture in the front of your mouth. Open as you ascend, close a little bit as you descend, open as you ascend. You want to get this fluid open, close movement happening with the jaw. It's a kind of way of encouraging release of the jaw. A, ah. It may make the vowels a little funny for a while. A, ah. And try to avoid reflexively popping the jaw when you go to the ah vowel. Baritones, you're starting a little bit lower than that. Actually, only a slight amount, because we're now getting onto the secondo passaggio here. And Starting again. And. A and O, 2 fingers kind of between the molars. Keep the jaw in a neutral but open position. Take your thumbs and gently rest them around your esophagus where your larynx is, and monitor any motion. Ideally, the larynx will stay in a neutral to slightly lowered position. If it lifts up, try to yawn it down. You'll feel that ho, 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 kind of a feeling there. But what we're going to get, hey, oh, hey, oh. Again, starting there. And. And again. And. Now, ah and o together in the exercise, kind of combining the two elements. Opening the jaw on the ascending part of the phrase, closing a little bit on the descending, cultivating openness in the rear of the oral cavity. And again. And. Moving on, A into ah on the trill exercise, same as the last exercise, opening the jaw on the ascent, keeping it open through the vowel transition, closing a little bit on the descent. You are starting pretty close to that. And. A into O, same as the last exercise. 2 fingers between the molars, monitor the position of the larynx. A, O. Starting right there. And and O, again, similar to last exercise, a little bit of each. Opening of the jaw on the ascending phrase, cultivating openness in the rear of the oral cavity. And all right, ascending chromatically by key over the secondo passaggio. I'm going to start here. Sounds like this. Starting right there. And same thing again. And moving up a semitone. And same again. And up another semitone. And same again. And up another semitone. And same again. And up another semitone, and again, and up another semitone, and again, and up another semitone, and same again, and up another semitone, and same again, and one more semitone, and last one, and there you go, baritones. Threw in that last half step. I knew it was a bit on the fringe, but you know, a baritone with really, really good registration event technique will have that F, and for those that want to practice in that area and kind of explore with it, then it's there if you want it. At any rate, I hope it helps. My name is Jeff. Thank you if you've chosen to subscribe. Big thank you to my Patreon supporters. That's where you can get these MP3s, you can get the PDFs to practice along with, all that good stuff. Until next time, take really good care of your voices, enjoy singing, and hopefully we'll see you again. Bye.